I lied, but I'm not a liar. Have you ever heard of Anna Delvey, also known as Anna Sorokin? Perhaps you did not, perhaps you did. But if you watched on Netflix, you've probably seen the same show calling Inventing Anna. That is the story we talk today about her. Welcome to podcast Life the Battlefield. My name is Mario Bekes. I'm the Guinness World Record holder. I spent 1,800 consecutive combat days in a combat in a war. As well, I investigated many high-position organized crime figures, traitors, spies, out in work as well in diplomatic intelligence sector. And today we're going to talk about Anna Sorokin. So we're going to today investigate, examine, and respond to what is true in the story of this con artist. And let me tell you, she is devious. You ask yourself, who is Anna Sorokin? She's a phony heiress. What's the identity of Anna Sorokin, aka known Anna Delvey, the con artist who infiltrated New York affluent circles and wallets and is the subject of this hit Netflix series? Needless to say, there's a different Anna Chapman, who was as well been entering those magically amazing circles of the very influential people in New York particularly. But Anna Chapman, which I'm going to put in comment section below the link on that episode, she was a Russian spy and she's been exchanged between the Russia and US because she knew what she was doing. She was applying social engineering to come in possession of the information. But today we talk about this different Russian lady, Anna Sorokin. She has been subject of the countless articles and podcasts like this one, and her story has been adapted into this Netflix series called Project Anna, or better known, Inventing Anna. So if you never saw, feel free to go on a Netflix. But who is the imposter and con woman convicted of fraud in 2019 after infiltrating Manhattan's social elite? Young Russian woman pretended to be the wealthy German heiress for 4 years, and no one questioned her story. Therefore, she is now considered as one of the most devious con artists. And do you know why? Because many people go on social media, don't question nothing, just following blindly so-called influencers. So ask yourself the question, those influencers, who they're influencing? They're influencing you or somebody else? And why they're influencing you? Ask yourself a question. You will not be accomplice in their crimes because you're liking their posts, but speaks the volume about who truly you are. But let's go talk about Anna, from aspirant to con artist, because that's what she becomes. Yes. So before this, we need to go a little bit more into historical data. She was born in Russia in 1991 as Anna Sorokin. Anna Delvey was her name a little bit later. Her father drove a truck while her mother had a little shop and was a housewife. Henceforth, they moved to Germany when she was 16 years old. Anna spoke very hazily about her childhood, revealed that she was separated from her conservative parents. Whatever that means, whatever that suit her narrative, that's what she said. After high school, she came to London, of course, where else, to attend Central St. Martin's. She dropped out of school right away and landed what? Internship at the Parisian magazine Purple. You don't finish in school, but you get a job in magazine. Well done. In Paris, she claimed to have photographed for the Purple, a fashion, art and culture magazine under the moniker Anna Delvey, aka Anna Delvey. While she was there, her interest moved to different sort of art. Painting. She was financially dependent on her parents who paid for her housing, despite her monthly earnings for 400 euros. So Anna, she was making 400 euros, but her parents was giving her money so she can live. Now, after that split, she returned to New York in late summer 2013 for a trip to Montauk and then Fashion Week. Of course, where the influences goes, Fashion Week. Although she had no intention of staying in New York permanently, she developed her love for the New York, by meeting more friends than in Paris and decided to stay, of course. She briefly worked in Purple's New York office. Do you see how she was clever? She was working in Paris in Purple's, then London, then New York. So she was using the same base for the work. Well, surprise, surprise. She quit her job at a magazine and began spreading the story of the phoney to the Anna Delvey Foundation, ADF, which functions as both as a private club and the art foundation. Well, that's a great marriage, art and private club. This is when the ambitious Anna Delvey transformed into the con artist Anna Delvey. So Anna Sorokin into Anna Delvey. She didn't have much money or close friends, yet she stayed in luxury hotels and dressed in fashionable clothes. Ask yourself how. You're watching internet every day. You follow these people. Ask yourself how. Even her parents were oblivious of the kind of life she was leading because they sent her money every month for groceries and rent. When she traveled on excursions and went out to clubs and restaurants, she would play to persuade someone else to pay or lend her money. I have friends in my life like this. Then she moved to boutique hotels, leaving hundreds of dollars of tips and postponing payments with fictitious wire transfers. You know those friends who says to you, can you pay for me today drink? I have only $100. I don't want to, exchange, or, I'm waiting for my money to land on account. I can't just access right now, but that's the Anna. She knew it right away. She played on this very, very well. Then what she did, of course, she hired. You can't wear the fashionable clothes without being fashionably look. You need personal trainer. Then she was eating expensive dinners because those expensive dinners actually dinners which you have less carbs and whatever, more proteins. And she was wearing Yves Saint Laurent and Gucci. Then she started to sell this Anna Delvey Foundation. Her concept for the private club with exclusive membership and rotating creative displays. So she was selling the concept. She gained access to hotelier Andre Balazs, entrepreneur Rue Rogers of the United Kingdom, and real estate developer Abby Rosen, which gives her credibility. I take the pictures with her famous people, credibility, it's rising. Anna dedicated her life to her art foundation, which she defined as a most dynamic visual arts center dedicated to contemporary art. She planned to lease the historic Mission host on the Park Avenue South and 22nd Street to house a nightclub, bar, art gallery, studio spaces, cafes, and members-only club. Not for me and you, because only members, from Instagram. To be honest, as I read about Anna and her encountering ambitious, well-to-do people with big goals in the course of my business, my genuine enthusiasm was barely matched by reasoned skepticism. However, ask yourself a question, what did she do to become so well known? I always have the goosebumps when I see people on social media who have become very well known overnight. You never heard them, never saw them before in your entire life, but they're all sharing the same platform. I'm looking good, I'm this and that. Let me be straight with you. If you like to know who is Mario Bekes, Google it. I'm just doing investigations. Facts only, not opinion. Be aware of the people online. One trade is happening right now, well, not now, last 12 months. As the world is going from recession into depression, it's going to be more and more online influencers who's going to ask you for money. So I'm not jealous of these people, but ask yourself, who are you following? Sorokin began a series of fraud on New York elite after moving to the city in 2013. She pretended to be a wealthy heiress from Germany and defrauded numerous people's hotels and banks by claiming that she's a very wealthy than she was. I ask question, how is it possible? Nobody asks her, okay, you're from Germany, you're very wealthy and you're heiress. Can you speak on German? What is your family crest? Something, what city you coming from? Something like this, I'll ask her, would you like to come with me on a Bavarian house? We have there some sausages, whatever, sauerkraut. Can you translate for me the menu from German, of course, Austrian. Well, you need to ask questions. You need to ask questions. When somebody says to you it's a something, try to ask simple questions. Simple questions doesn't require a lot of thinking, doesn't require lying. People are gonna answer you. When somebody asks me where I'm coming from, I say I'm coming from Croatia. My city is very, very tiny, 50,000 people. It's the fourth largest in my country, 50,000 people. It's my city. I don't need to invent that I'm from the Sydney. I'm coming from far, far away. Now, for years, she got away with not paying her restaurant and hotel bills on time by issuing forged checks or fabricating bank statements. She stayed at various hotels until February 2017, most recent at the 11 Howard Hotel in Soho, where she was well known among the staff for her generous tips. So she was tipping well the staff. Yeah. She even made a pause with the hotel employees. However, after a few months, hotel management noticed that Sorokin did not have a credit card, so they asked her to pay the bill, which was over $30,000 at the time, and she was forced out. Sorokin also cornered a well-known Chinese art collector, Michael Hufu Huang, into paying for her airfare and accommodations during the Venice Biennale. I forgot my wallet. I mean, what story you must have? What story you must follow? You understand, this is like everything in life. Every problem comes from our mouth and comes in our mouth. All our problems coming in or out of our mouth. You don't agree with me? Think about it. If somebody comes to you with a great story, you don't just accept something because somebody says to you this. Or you check the social media, she knows my body or this and that. Why would somebody who is very wealthy ask you to pay their tickets? Accommodations. Well, Michael Hufu Huang, he paid for her. Even after he pressed her, she dragged him and she eventually paid him with an unknown account. So, he asked for the money and she was dragging and she paid him somehow. Then she has a journey to Morocco, however, is the most well-known of her deceptions. She invited friends, including Rachel Deloche Williams, the picture editor of Vanity Fair magazine at the time, on a trip to Marrakesh in May 2017, claiming she would cover all expenses. She knows the story. Her modus operandi was being trialed so many times, so she says, I'll pay you, take me there. They were staying at the opulent 5-star La Mamounia resort and the hotel staff told them they couldn't charge her cards, so they requested another method of payment to meet $60,000 of US dollars. What Sorokin did? Persuaded Williams to settle the loan by offering to reimburse her through wire transfer. Williams kept paying bills for the rest of her vacation, convinced that Sorokin would pay her back. However, when they returned to New York, Williams still didn't get it. There is no money. There's no money. On her way back from Morocco, Sorokin stayed at the Bekes Hotel, again without credit card. She received $11,500 debt within a few weeks and was evicted for failing to pay it. She then proceeded to the W Hotel, where she was kicked out only 2 days. Now, it's good to you when you think about these celebrities, real people with the real money, why they're paying hotel and they don't go public, because they will embarrass themselves. Imagine if this Rachel from Vanity magazine, Fair magazine, she will step out and she says, I befriended somebody who says is a German heiress, which speaks the volume about as well the Rachel itself. Ask Dr. Google. It's a source of all knowledge, Dr. Google, right? But ask Dr. Google, does this person exist there? And now I'm paying $62,000 to be precise, not 60, $62,000 US dollars bill for this lady and myself, and she took me for the trip in Marrakesh, but I'm paying for her and me. There is no money. Of course, you'll not go in public and say I've been, defrauded, because that it doesn't work with your, reputation. Your reputation risk will be to the window, tarnished. She come back, she's been kicked out, she's going to W Hotel, where she was kicked out only 2 days later. The Bekes and W Hotel eventually accused Sorokin with a service theft. Simultaneously, she was being investigated independently by the Manhattan District Attorney Office. For what? For bank fraud, in which she embezzled around, it's a tiny 275,000 US dollars, which is about 400,000 Australian dollars, or like a 3 million Canadian. How she was apprehended? You must understand one thing, as I say again, from my past experience in life as an investigator, interrogator, and human intelligence expert. You can enjoy your life as much as you want and pretend that everything is okay and nobody doesn't getting nothing. But while you're sleeping, there's a group of people on a normal salary, living normal life, eating normal food, without doing the bloods on social media, doing the case against you. That's happened so many times I saw in my life with the many people I investigated and interrogated later on. Sometimes, you come 3 o'clock in the morning on their door, and on social media they are flashing the cars, the money, the girls, the this and that. And then comes the Mario with an average salary of a couple $1,000 per month and say, well, listen, show me your hands, not to read your destiny, but show me your hands and the handcuffs and all this your fubsy-wubsy millions of dollars on account. That's government ready took away from you. So Sorokin, she was arrested in 2017 while in recovery at Passage Malibu, a Los Angeles addiction treatment clinic, as a part of Manhattan District Attorney investigation supported by her former acquaintance, Rachel Williams. So Rachel, step it up. Rachel published a memoir titled My Friend Anna, The True Story of the Phoney Heiress in 2019, in which she discussed her relationship with Sorokin and, of course, compensated with money. So 2 years after she fleeced the money from her. Now you ask yourself, what was a court decision, ruling? After 2 days of deliberation, Sorokin was found guilty. Of course she was, on 8 of 10 counts, 80%, including second-degree grand larceny, attempted grand larceny, and theft of services. She was sentenced to 4 to 12 years in state jail, $24,000 fine, and damages of $199,000 in May. Her jail identity number is 19G00336, allocated to her. You think, okay, justice is served. Anna Sorokin, aka Anna Delvey, she's in prison 4 to 12 years. Well, today it's being the criminal, it's a very lucrative job. So let's go find out what happened to Anna Delvey. Following her trial, Sorokin was brought to Bedford Hills Correctional Facility before being transferred to the Albion Correctional Facility in New York. She was released from prison in early February 2021 and immediately returned to, not to mom and dad, to, that one you like at her Instagram. However, she was detained by the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement in March for overstaying her visa. So she wasn't in prison, so she was being arrested for overstaying her visa. According to Bloomberg, Sorokin has been cleared for release from the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement ICE facility in Orange County, New York on October 5, 2022. According to Bloomberg, as a condition of her release, she had to post $10,000 bond and was forbidden from social media. She's very on Instagram, where she routinely sent photographs to her friends and possibly investors showing of her allegedly affluent lifestyle. She's currently being kept in East Village of New York under house arrest. So she's not in prison, house arrest. In an interview, as I stated at the beginning, Netflix series, Anna, she was a main protagonist in her own show. Anna claimed, I never complained about a lot of things. I assume that others were just interested in witnessing how miserable I was from the start of my time in a New York prison. Now comes the best part. Anna was rich. Anna was supposed to pay $320,000 by the Netflix to tell her experience in the series. She utilized the funds to pay $199,000 in bank debt, and $24,000 in state fines. When I think about Anna, I imagine she was certain that either her plans will succeed or they would all fail. And now that we are out of the way, I see what she meant. It was a magic trick, and her circle served as both props and audience. Anna had a huge and beautiful fantasies about being in New York, like one of these endless evenings. However, the bill then arrives in the morning. Thank you for watching Live the Battlefield. My name is Mario Bekes. Feel free to subscribe, share, like, and comment. And we're going to come back with another episode, another influencer right here.